Do you have too many passwords? Do you not know what to do with them? Can you not remember what the passwords are? Passwords are very an old way of authenticating, actually. And really, they weren't meant to be widely distributed to all these websites. When they were first coming up with the use of passwords, it was more localized, like only a computer that was right in front of you, a keyboard and mouse, a terminal that was right in front of you, is where you would enter that password. Not imagining that these passwords could be accessed from anywhere in the world and to log into systems. Probably the most common password is password. After that is 12345. And so hackers know to use these most common passwords. They have a long list of common passwords and just try to guess the passwords. And if we have a common, simple password, then it's easier for them to guess. But then the more complex passwords we have that are some random numbers and digits, that's actually harder for us to remember. But did you know that that's actually easier for a computer to guess, especially if it's a short password? I'll give you some suggestions on how to create strong passwords, passwords that are harder to be hacked, harder to be compromised. So the first one is use a long password. The longer the password, the better. It's exponentially harder for a computer to crack that password for every one character you add. Longer passwords could be harder to remember. It could be something that you might easily remember. Think of, let's say you can use a lyric from a song, one of your favorite songs, and you can say, okay, remember these three words. And you put those three words together, you have you have like a 20 character password. And if you add maybe your favorite number, not your date of birth or your social security number, but your some random number that only you know to that, along with the special character, now you have this long password that meets the password requirements. The other thing to do is not to use the same passwords for each site. A lot of times this one account will be compromised because they have your email address now with the username. They have that password. The hacker can go and try that in the most other common websites as well. And if you're using the same password, then they got access not only to one system, but another system as well. You don't want that to happen to you. So how do you manage all these passwords? There are what they call password managers that have been around for quite a while. Some of the big ones are 1Password, LastPass, Bitwarden. Even Apple and Google are getting into the space of password managers. You can have your iCloud account save your passwords, and then it would sync to the different devices, the same that these other password managers have as well. So it's getting more convenient for you to be able to save all those passwords to all those sites, and you only have to remember your one main password to access all these other sites that you have saved your password for. But what are some of the drawbacks? If you have all of your passwords in one location, that's more of a target to go after. So these password managers are a target because they know that there's jewels saved in there that they want to get into. LastPass has been hacked, and they sent an email out saying you need to change your master passwords to all of your accounts just to ensure the security of it. One of the pro tips is use MFA everywhere. Anywhere you can enable MFA, enable it on the websites because if your username and password get compromised and someone has that, if they're trying to log into the website, they need that second form of authentication. Normally it's on your phone. And if they don't have that, then they can't get into your computer. I've seen some of these password managers that they will let you include the MFA into your vault. So like in 1Password, you can save your username and password, and you can save your MFA. I do not recommend you use that because that defeats the purpose of the MFA. If your 1Password account was compromised and they got your username and password and they have your MFA, that defeats the purpose of having the MFA. Whereas if they got your password and your username and they got it and they try to use it, you would still have your MFA as the last form of defense for them to get into your account.